guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. And today I'm making yogurt bagels. So those are, you just use a couple of ingredients, Greek yogurt, some flour, some baking soda, salt, and you have the makings for a delicious bagel. But today we're gonna put another spin on it, and it's gonna be jalapeno cheddar. So I'm using a sharp cheddar cheese and jalapenos, and it just couldn't get any easier. And we're gonna make a double batch, which works out to be about 8 bagels. I make mine on the thin side, almost like a bagel thin, if you will, because I don't want all that dough. So then you can still slice these, and I can make a breakfast sandwich. I can make a sandwich for lunch. I can do whatever I want. So that being said, come on in and let's make some jalapeno cheddar bagels. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to chop up a jalapeno. Let's do the big one. This one's fatter, and then I'm going to also slice jalapeno. So I'm gonna chop, and any extra that I have, I will use in a different recipe, so I'm not worried about having too much jalapeno. And then I have a mandolin here, and this is all I usually do on this, because I use this when I do pizza. I slice the jalapenos for my pizza, just like that. Now, I've got all my jalapenos done there. We're gonna get this going. That's just a little chopper. Hold on. And it doesn't wanna go. It's trying. May have to cut those smaller. There we go. And voila, I have chopped jalapenos. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside and get working on our mixture. It's so easy. I preheated my oven to a 375, and I put my oven rack up a little higher than you would think. So for the recipe I'm doing today, I'm doing a double batch. So we're gonna do 2 cups of Greek yogurt. And I use Tillamook whenever I can. This is local, pretty close. I mean, it's not that far of a drive to get there. So I want 2 cups. And look how thick that yogurt is. This is one of the best yogurts out there. No matter if it's Greek yogurt or you just want like Marionberry yogurt or blueberry yogurt, Tillamook is by far superior to any other brand, in my opinion. And I'm not sponsored by them, although I would love that. Okay, in my bowl goes the first cup of yogurt. And I could have done a triple batch. I just don't know that I can eat all these within a week. You can freeze them, but I don't want to forget them in the freezer. I'd rather have them fresh. And I'll share a couple, at work. But between the 2 of us, we should be able to manage these this week. And then I'll make a small batch whenever I want to, or I can use that Greek yogurt for salad dressing, dip, all kinds of stuff. Dredging, mix the Greek yogurt with pesto and dredge vegetables, and then put them through panko breadcrumbs, and you have a delicious veggie bake ready to go. Okay, I got that wiped off, and we'll put that aside. Okay, now this goes in the sink. This recipe is so easy. It's almost, you're gonna need an egg wash, so I've got a slightly beaten egg too, because you don't want them to look dull and lifeless. Here, let me bring you in. So I'm gonna get the jalapenos in here and get that done. Ooh, these are gonna be great. Now, like I said, if I have extra jalapeno, and I'm judging by how much is in the yogurt, I'm gonna mix the yogurt up. And these have the seeds and everything, so there's gonna be some heat in there. And 2 cups of yogurt, yeah, I want some more. So this is a visual thing for me. And then we'll have the garnish on top. So these I'm gonna save for a different recipe. There's a lid that comes with this. So I'll get that on. And then I don't have to transfer to another container. I already have a jalapeno all chopped up, ready to go for whatever recipe I have. In fact, I've got one more jalapeno in the fridge. I might just chop it up and put that in there. But for right now, that's that. Now I'm gonna add my cheese as well. It's also kind of a visual thing, even though some of the cheese will go on top. So again, Tillamook cheese, and we're gonna add about a cup of cheese. A healthy cup of cheese. Oh yeah. Okay, and then you can add egg to this. I have not done that. So, salt is, I'm gonna do a little teaspoon of salt, and then we need our flour. We need 2 cups of flour. So I dip in and level off roughly a 1 cup and a 2 cup. And oh, I'm so excited. Can I tell you how excited I am? It's super exciting. Okay, and then you want 2 heaping teaspoons of baking soda, or I'm sorry, baking powder. You don't want to, and you want to make sure it's pretty fresh. If it's been sitting for a long time, it may not have the power of the baking powder that you need. So now, get that off your hands, and we'll get our Danish whisk involved, and we'll get the whisking this together because I'm super excited. This is going to be my lunch. I'm going to have one of these for lunch, and you do have to knead this dough too, so you've got to give it a minute for that yogurt and everything to absorb, and the flour to take on the yogurt, so to speak. So it's got a fair amount of mixing involved, and you're gonna have this shaggy, what looks like it's never gonna come together kind of dough. And then all of a sudden, the world changes and your dough comes together, and it's wonderful. Just like that. So I'm gonna clear my kneading mat here. I'm gonna clear that off and get a little bit of dusting of flour down, and we'll get to kneading these, and they're super easy to form. So let me do that, and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, I've got my mat all floured, and I'm going to turn this dough out, and I'm gonna work whatever dough is left in the bowl. I'm working it into the mix as well. So if you had some flour down at the bottom of your bowl, it goes in here. And there's my oven booping at me, saying ready. Okay. This is super sticky, but hey, what else do you have to do on a Sunday other than to play with some dough? And this helps get that yogurt all worked in. Not too bad. It's not that sticky, but you get the gist of it. Literally, bagels are one of my favorites, but they're really not that great for you. This way I feel a little bit better about having a bagel if it's made with Greek yogurt, fresh ingredients that I trust. And now that I've got a pretty good dough that's not sticking too bad, I'm gonna start cutting on these. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for just a second while I wash my hands, and then I will cut these and get them out onto a baking dish. Let me get my baking dish ready. I'm super excited. Okay, so I've got my I've got my cookie sheet or jelly roll tray with a silicone mat down there. And I'm just gonna cut off a bagel here. And literally, you're gonna roll these into as good as you can. Roll these out. Probably needed a little bit bigger one. Some of these are going to be bigger than others. You come around, and because I like come around, pinch that dough together. I like mine more like a bagel thin. I'm gonna push mine down. There's my first one. Very rustic, but that's the way I do it. And they eat, and they're wonderful. And okay. And this one will be a little bit bigger. Okay. Come around, pinch that together, and smoosh it out. Now these are gonna rise because of the baking powder. These are gonna rise up in the oven. Oh, that's a beaut. Okay. I'm gonna cut this end off a little bit bigger, I think. That way they're a little more uniform. And even with no additional flour really on the board now, they're not sticking. That yogurt, for however it works, it gets in there and lets the flour do its magic. And, oh, okay. That little beep was my sous vide machine telling me, oh, that's a pretty big one. Oh. If you wanted to weigh your dough, you could do that. I'm looking for about 8 bagels. I may need another baking sheet. See how easy they are to work with? Super easy. Okay. Maybe that little one will be my taste tester. I'm gonna get 6 on here. Yeah, we're gonna get 6, I think, 7, 8. Perfect. 8 bagels is perfect. Perfect. Okay. This one, I'll borrow off that one. And I'll get another little baking tray and get the 8 of them. Look at that, it's so pretty. And wait till you see it after I get the cheese and everything on there. Right? Okay. Let me grab a tray, clean up my hands, and we'll get them decorated. All right, so now we're gonna egg wash the bagels. Whoa, that's a lot of egg wash there for that little bagel. Huh. Oh well. Eggs will add a little bit more protein, and it will make them glossy and gorgeous, and yeah. If you don't egg wash them, they aren't very appetizing, in my opinion. I've seen people not do it, and it's like, oh, it's like a pie crust you don't put an egg wash on. Ew. I'm gonna set this one over here, and we'll get this one, whoopsie, set up so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. I need another silicone mat for my other cookie sheet. Oh, I could have done these on a actual cookie sheet instead of a jelly roll pan, but This is just as easy. So you could, like I said, you could put egg in this and bump up the protein a little bit more. But I think inclusion-wise, doing the jalapeno cheddar. Now, if you were doing an everything bagel, or you wanted garlic, or you wanted rosemary and cheese on here, now's the chance. If you guys want to see me make other versions of this bagel, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Or if you make these bagels, I would love to hear about it. I want to know, is it like your favorite? Would you make it again? So cheese, I'm just gonna do a couple of these here. Oh man, that's gonna be cheesy. Let's get your cheese up on there. Don't lose any of it. So it's got cheese on the inside, cheese on the outside. They're gonna be wonderful. And let me just demo how I'm doing the jalapenos, so you'll see what's happening. Okay. Nice. It's hard to stop. Once you start, you gotta finish, right? Okay. And it's, how much cheese you put on here is totally up to you. It's going to be delicious regardless if it's a little or a lot. I'm totally okay with either way. I'll get the ones up here. Put the cheese on them. And then we're ready to garnish the jalapeno garnish for these. I think we did it. I was a little light on the cheese on that one and that one. Okay, I'm gonna stop. And then jalapeno rings. Just so people know it's jalapeno. And they actually, they aren't very hot. If you didn't want a bunch of jalapeno on there, you could omit that or take the seeds out. Like some of these have no seeds, so but the insides, the seeds are there. So one jalapeno is just about perfect to garnish all of these. And depending on the size of your jalapeno, of course, I don't want to waste anything. So who's looking a little bit shy? Okay, and we'll put that over there. In the oven they go for about 20 to 25 minutes. And you want them cooked all the way through, brown, nicely browned. You'll know when they're done. And I'm bringing you back there out of the oven. 20, 21 minutes. And I'm putting these, look how beautiful these are. And they puffed way up, but they have kind of settled down. So they'll be a nice thin bagel for me. And I am super excited about these. So I get these all onto a cooling rack. This is gonna be the one I have right now. The bottoms are nice and brown. I don't know if you can see that. Nice and brown. And super excited to let these cool. These will be chewy and absolutely wonderful. So I hope if you haven't tried these, you go ahead and try them. They make a great sandwich vehicle. And let's take the little one and put it up here. And I'll bring you back here as soon as these cool down enough for a taste test. And you can make any variety you want. Like I said, if you would like me to make a particular one, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you've made these and if you loved them or if you said, nope, not my deal. All right, guys, I can't wait any longer. This is still really warm but it's not so hot I can't handle it. So you can see how brown the bottom gets. That's partly because of all the cheese. I might cut back on the cheese interior next time. Maybe not. They are so good. They'll be even better once they cool down. Not too spicy. Wow. I absolutely love them. I hope if you're on the fence about making these, you try them. They're delicious. And as always, guys, can't wait to see you next time for another delicious recipe. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. These are absolutely delicious, and I do hope you try them and you subscribe.